Now I'm going to show you how to mend a sock. I have a sock with a hole in it right here. I have a spool of thread that matches and a water glass. It can be plastic or glass, it doesn't matter. The smaller the better. This just happens to be the one I have sitting around, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, the first thing you need to do is thread your needle, and we're going to do that a little differently. To mend a sock, you need very strong thread, so we're actually going to use 4 threads instead of our usual 2. Here's one end of the thread I cut. Here is the second. Normally we just put this end into the needle. This time I'm going to take my 2 ends, put them together, and try to get both of those ends through the tiny hole in the needle. The first thing I have to do is make them as even as possible and then wet them. I'm going to lick my fingers and just press them down. Get them as close to my fingers as possible, like you can hardly even see it right here. Put your needle right next to it and open your fingers. Sometimes you have to wiggle it back and forth a little to get it in there. There it is. I'm going to pull this down to the folded end, and normally I would tie a knot here. I'm going to put all 4 together to tie a knot. You can either do a standard sewing knot, which is around the finger, roll and pull, or you can do a magic knot. And the magic knot, you point your needle towards the end you're going to tie the knot so that they make an X. You wrap the long side around a few times. Hold those wraps in your thumb so they're right in here, and then pull the needle through. And there is your magic knot. Now I don't want it that messy on the inside, so I am going to just trim up some of the extra threads so that it looks nice and neat and it won't be tickling my toes on the inside of the sock. Now that I have my thread ready, I'm going to get the sock ready. First thing I have to do is turn it inside out. So I'm going to look at the toe here. This is the seam of the toe. The seam is on the inside, so my sock is already inside out. Then I'm going to take my water glass and put it inside the sock and get it lined up with the hole. That just stretches the fabric enough so that you can now repair the hole. I am already on the inside, so I can actually just start from this area. I'm going to push my needle through both sides and pull. Both. I switched the cup to a red cup just so that it would be easier for you to see. Now I'm going to take one small loop from each side, going across the hole, and pull. Now you don't want to pull super tight, you want it together, but you don't want a ridge because that ridge will bother your foot a little. And I'm going to keep going in the same direction, looping the thread over each time. And as you can see, the hole is getting smaller. Once I get to the end, I'm going to look at it again, and I think I need to go back over it a second time. Knit fabric, which is what socks are made of, can be a little unstable. So I'm going to actually just repeat my actions all the way back up. And then when I reach the end, I'm going to tie a knot. Because I'm already on the inside, I do not need to move my needle. I'm just going to tie the knot in place here. Cut my thread. Pull the drinking glass out. And when I turn my sock right side out, here is the hole. You can barely see it.